Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled at the edge of a vast forest, there lived a curious girl named Lila. Lila loved the woods, even though the villagers warned her never to go too far. They called it the Whispering Woods, and they said it was enchanted. Strange things happened there, her grandmother often said. You might hear voices that aren't there, or see lights dancing in the trees. It's best to stay away. But Lila's curiosity was stronger than her fear. Every time she looked out at the tall, swaying trees, she felt like they were calling to her. One evening, just as the sun was setting, Lila stood at the edge of the forest, watching the golden light fade into shadows. That's when she heard it, a soft whisper, like a breeze carrying a secret. Help us, the whisper said. Lila spun around, but there was no one there. She felt a shiver run down her spine, but she also felt a strange sense of determination. I'm coming, she said, and before she could think twice, she stepped into the woods. As soon as Lila entered, the forest seemed to come alive. Fireflies lit up the path, forming a sparkling trail. The trees seemed to bend slightly, as if they were guiding her deeper into the woods. After walking for a while, she came across a small fox with bright, intelligent eyes. You're the one they sent for, aren't you? The fox said, startling Lila. You can talk, she asked. Of course I can, the fox replied. This is no ordinary forest. Follow me, and I'll explain everything. The fox led Lila to a clearing where a tiny village lay hidden among the trees. The houses were made of mushrooms and leaves, and the inhabitants were small creatures with wings. They were the forest folk. One of them, a tiny elder with a crown of moss, stepped forward. Thank you for coming, Lila. We need your help. What can I do? She asked. The Whispering Woods are losing their magic, the elder explained. The heart tree, which keeps our world alive, is dying. Someone must find the crystal bloom to save it, but the journey is dangerous. Only someone brave and pure of heart can succeed. Lila agreed without hesitation. The fox, whose name was Ember, became her guide. Together, they traveled through enchanted parts of the forest. First, they had to cross the River of Echoes, where the water repeated everything they said. It was disorienting, but Lila focused on Ember's instructions and managed to get across safely. Next, they entered the Maze of Shadows, where every turn seemed to lead back to the beginning. Lila remembered a rhyme her grandmother used to say, follow the light to find your way. She noticed tiny glimmers of light on the ground and followed them, finding the exit. Finally, they reached the Mountain of Mist, where the crystal bloom grew at the very top. At the peak of the mountain, the crystal bloom shone like a star. But as Lila reached out to take it, a booming voice stopped her. Only those with a pure heart may touch the bloom, it said. Why do you seek it? Lila took a deep breath. I want to help the forest folk, she said. Without the heart tree, their home will be lost. I can't let that happen. The voice fell silent, and the crystal bloom began to glow even brighter. Your heart is true, it said. Take the bloom and restore the magic. Lila carefully picked the crystal bloom and hurried back to the hidden village. When they reached the heart tree, the elder instructed her to place the bloom at its roots. As soon as she did, a radiant light spread through the forest. The trees sparkled with dew, the air filled with music, and the heart tree stood taller and stronger than ever. You have saved us, the elder said, bowing to Lila. The magic of the forest will live on, thanks to you. As the first rays of dawn lit the sky, Lila found herself back at the edge of the woods. The whispers had faded, but the memory of her adventure stayed with her forever. From that day on, the Whispering Woods were no longer feared but cherished. And every time Lila looked into the trees, she felt like they were smiling at her. The end.